Okay, Kohalayim Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushab, Bahashem Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the elders apostle, great millstone, Shalom, and blessings to the hopeful elect. My name is Lamadia from the New York camp. So what we just watched was an anti-ICE protest that's now made its way to New York from LA. And you know, I could see this being a trend throughout all the major cities, such as, Dallas, Texas, or Houston, Texas, or Chicago, Detroit, whatever. And Esau might use this as a vehicle to bring about his new world disorder, because that's what it is, disorder. And this is a perfect opportunity for Esau to implement the MOTB with this immigration or legal immigration thing that's happening, and ICE raiding illegal immigrants and deporting them. So the main thing is we're watching and paying attention to what's happening. And what we know is that the MOTB is not too far, and that could be a solution to resolve this illegal immigration. Is the introducing a new form of biometrics, because bio means something that has to do with your body, whether it's your fingerprints, facial recognition. But what Esau want to do is to inject something within you, but we are aware of it. Give me 1 second. Let's start this with 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And the word advantage simply just means to create a setting or circumstance that puts someone in superiority, or that makes someone superior. And that's what Esau is doing. Like, everything that happened is a psyops. All right, everything you see on the news is the world's a stage or a soap opera. You got to believe half of what you see. And there's things coming out that a lot of these protesters are being paid, and we are seeing 2.0 of the BLM protests. But now it's just, the protest is about deportation. But the same thing that was happening in the former protests, people was being paid to protest. You had these skids of blocks just laying around to be utilized. And these are all Esau, because Esau has a format where he operates: problem, reaction, solution. He creates the problem, watch the reaction, and come up with a solution. And the solution is going to be the MOTB. So I read it again. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. The word ignorant means not to know. We're aware of what are Esau's plans, because it's really the Most High plans. Because the Lord prophesied, or the Lord gave the vision to John of the events to come. That's what the Lord said. He take it to wise in their own craftiness. Because what the elites want to do is read the Most High plan to fulfill prophecy. But he using Esau as a pawn, because the Most High is the master manipulator. He's the puppet master. He's the black hand. And the Lord has showed these things unto his prophets. So now another thing we got to look at is incentives, because no different from 2020 in the Crown Royale, to get people to receive that injection, they had a lot of incentives, giving out, offering food, tickets to see whatever game, but these all comprise of different incentives they had. And it's going to be the same format with the MOTB, because in the beginning it's going to be voluntarily, and then once they get the one that's easy to control, they're now going to force it on the people. So incentives is just going to be an introduction, and another form of introduction, they're going to use conveniency. So they're going to introduce in the medical world as convenience, and they're going to use incentives to get people to accept it. So now here's the meaning of incentive: a thing that motivates or encourages one to do something. And we see incentive programming everywhere in our daily lives. So I'll give you an example. You talk to a female, and although she's not a virgin, although she has sex on the first night plenty of time and gave up to Virginia, she's gonna play this game with you. Like, if in order to have sex with her, you gotta take her out to eat, you gotta do this for her, and then she's gonna reward you with the Virginia. Like that Virginia is not thrift Virginia anyway. That should have been used and abused. But a lot of guys fall for it, because if she really like a person, she's going to give it up in the first night anyway. And you might see incentive at work. That's when you get the employee of the month, and people will work hard just to get their picture posted, on the job as employee of the month. So that's the reward, to promote or encourage someone to do something. And this is going to happen with the MOTB. So now let's read Proverbs 14 and 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, because they're going to make it appear that it's the right thing to do moving forward, and that there's nothing wrong with the MOTB. So there is a way that which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Because you have Revelation the 13th chapter that speaks of the MOTB. You got Revelation the 14th chapter that speaks of the judgment on taking that MOTB. And the judgment is death. Excuse me. Now let's go to Matthew 24. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, and the heat is talking about Yahushua, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when should these things be? And what should be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Yahushua, or I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. Like, the word Christ does mean anointed in the Greek. So when a person say they are the teachers of the Lord, and the Most High bless them with their knowledge, and they break it down the scriptures wrong. Those are false Christs. And it says, and should deceive many. Tazadakia, he said he was the God sent comforter. The Most High sent them, and he deceives many. And the Most High took them out on April Fool's Day. The Bishop Nathaniel, he's a false Christ or false anointing, because he's breaking down the scriptures wrong. And that's why a lot of guys follow him. That's the deceiving of many. And ye should hear of wars and rumors of wars. And we hearing that right now. Rumors of World War III. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All things are the beginnings of sorrow. Then should they deliver you up to be afflicted, and should kill you. And ye should be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And that's the time we're approaching. Because you know what? It's going to be considered a crime to teach this word. And don't be surprised if they use our videos and use what you call a strongman attack. If you're not familiar with a strongman attack is, a strongman attack is when you take what a person says and you misrepresent it to make it easier to attack it. So they could take things or videos of us teaching and play it at let's say in the middle of what a person's saying, so that way it could be misrepresented. So like I got distracted. There's a lot of movement where I'm at. But anyway, don't be surprised if they take clips of our videos to manipulate the mass. So, because they did it with Yahushua, they took the things, certain things that Yahushua was saying, and try to make it mean what they wanted to mean. To use to bring charges of sedition against Yahushua. So, if it happened to Yahushua, expect it to happen to us. That's the point. Then should they deliver you up to be afflicted, and should kill you, and ye should be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then should many be offended, and should betray one another, and should hate one another. And then look too, among the brotherhood, there's always a devil. There's always a devil. So certain guys that's within the camp, you gotta look at them with a corner eye, because you don't know what their true motives are. Some guys might be a spy. You don't know. But there always was a devil among the righteous. Now it says, should hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise, and should deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what's happening. Iniquity is abounding. Like, we living in a time of sin. You know, that's why the Lord is going to destroy this place. And also iniquity too is the breaking. What's going to happen? It's going to be there's going to be no law and order in America. So that's twofold. There's going to be no, like, the Lord of Most High is not being kept, and in the time to come, there's going to be no law and order. It's not going to be no enforcement of the law. So what's going to happen is going to be anarchy, and people going to do what the hell they want to do. Because the only reason why certain people don't do things is because they fear going to jail. Now, when being in prison is not an option, you only can imagine the things people are going to be doing. So it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You're going to see a lot of looting. A lot of people getting set up. People running to people's homes, Because when the resources get short, people gonna be, taking other people's resources. And it says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same should be saved. So we have to endure, because even in these times we're gonna be okay. But you just have to believe. Now, 2 Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So we're in a time of war. We're in a time of a civil war right now, and we're in a time of heading to a world war. Now, for there should be sedition amongst men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions should stand in their power. Now let's look up a few things. Look up the word sedition first. Sedition, because that's what they got Yahushua for, was for sedition. Now, sedition, a conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. So, sedition is the incitement to people to rebel against the government. And you have that right now. That's like the video we just opened with was sedition. And it speaks about, and the course of their actions should stand in their power. Now, another thing that we should look at is look up the word course of action. A procedure adopted to deal with a situation for course of action. So you see protesting happening. That's a procedure adopted to deal with a situation, because the situation at hand is people being deported. Because at first, the deportation was the ones that Trump, well, the deportation was supposed to be the ones that was here illegally and was committed a lot of crimes, but it just opened the door for everyone. So now that's why we have these protests. So I read it again. For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another, because it's anarchy. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, that's government authority, and the course of their action should stand in their power. And a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. So there's going to be a lot of lockdowns coming. But within all of this happening, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, he's going to be with the righteous. You just have to believe. So I'm going to end it with that. Kohalayim Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua B'Hashem Rakar Kodash. Lord willing, this was an edifying video. Shalom.